Hi guys, so this is a clip that happened over on Twitch. It's a conversation that I had with Leon, one of my long-term clanmates and viewers over there. So this was his reward for winning free tournaments that we host over there. That we do every Saturday and Sunday, 12 o'clock noon, sort of when I start those tournaments. So I hope you enjoy it, and a big well done to Leon. There we go. Right, let's get this cracking then. So, which deck was it that you wanted to take us through?
I mean, you did say a fair deck, so I can't talk about the L3ON deck, so...
So it's the
Oh,
Lava Loon with the freeze, is that right?
works though. So I think I'll go with my main ladder deck.
Okay, yeah. So is that the one you've got on your profile at the moment?
Is it? Yes, it is.
The Giant Graveyard.
Giant Graveyard.
Alright, so
Yes.
obviously the sort of main goal for you there is obviously pull off the graveyard or get the giant to the tower. So how if you know if you had like a hog cycle deck going against you, how would you sort of deal with that?
So if I've got a Hawk Cycle deck, I would generally just cycle through Musketeer, Archers, Minions, and Goblin Gang until double elixir. Then I will then start to push, because that's when my deck would start to overpower
Right. Okay.
the
So
cycle decks,
like defend, and then try and get like a big
and
counter.
then just unleash everything I can. Sort of.
Fair enough. So Recruit Rop has asked the question that I was about to go into. So let's sort of like go away from hog cycling. Like, if you had like a generic Golem beatdown deck going against you, how would you sort of deal with that?
So I've got my Musketeer, and I'll put my Musketeer and Archers on the Golem. So I will. And I'll use the Goblin Gang to distract and Light Witch or anything else they have behind the Golem. In the middle, where my other tower will then start helping out, taking the support troops out. And the Golem is dead. The support troops will probably only just be done with my Goblin Gang. So then they then go on to the support troops themselves. And then I should, by the end of that time period where everything's taken out, I'll have enough for a giant to be put down in front of that, and then there's counter push.
Nice.
But then they have to deal with.
So it's...
Or another thing is if they put a golem down at the very start and I have giant graveyard in hand, or giant and minions, I then in the opposite lane I will rush while they're low on elixir.
Smash out that the other tower.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, so Recruit Rob, if you're sort of like looking to take on the deck, that's sort of if Golem's like the big thing for you, then it seems to be some pretty solid advice. So if you had a mirror match, so like you've got another guy using giant graveyards, not necessarily the same support troops, but the same like overall goal, how would you go about that? And for argument's sake, let's assume they have poison as well, because it's a pretty typical thing to take with the graveyard.
Yeah. So a lot of people who play graveyard would also have the poison on them. So I would let them go with their graveyard push with the poison.
Okay.
And I would put archers just outside the poison. And then I would take out their tank with the Goblin Gang. And only if needed, I would either log or arrows on their graveyard.
Okay.
And then I would wait, before I push, I would wait for their graveyard, their poison to be out of cycle.
And then do the big push then with the, the graveyard.
And then that's the only time I would then use graveyard.
Okay. So George, I think, has asked another one that I was about to go into. So he's on about Icebo, which I can get up on stream now because I think I've got it up from a previous stream. So it's obviously Expo and the Tesla, the usual stuff. It's got the Ice Wizard and Knight and Tornado in there as well. So sort of same question. How would you sort of defend and sort of try and get around the Expo and the Tesla? Because obviously they're both going to be taking away your giant away from sort of your big pushes.
So Expo decks are actually the easiest decks for my deck to sort of beat, or that's how I feel it is anyways, because the giant being a tank and it's cheaper than the Expo, I can then just drop the giant on the Expo as soon as they drop their Expo.
Okay.
And I then can also put archers or anything behind. So the giant will tank and go for the Expo or the Tesla, depending which one is put in front.
Yeah, because
then,
obviously the Expo tends to be put like a tile or two back to save it the damage, doesn't it? So okay.
And then so the giant tanks and then clears out the towers, while then a support troop would clear out their troops and then help with tower.
And then obviously the only sort of real defense they've got against the graveyards on a counter push is sort of like the log and some skeletons or the ice wizard. So that's pretty solid.
I've got spells to deal with the cheaper cards they have, especially now if they have archers usually in Expo decks as well. And then arrows now kill archers, which is, it's good for me.
Don't get me started on that.
Good for me.
It's one of my personal gripes within the game. I don't think the archers should die to the arrows at all.
No, probably not.
So the last one that I've got written down is Lava Loon, but Elijah's also pointed out another one, which is Barb Poison. So if we start with the Lava Loon and then we can talk about the Barb Poison in a sec. It's not one that I'm particularly familiar with.
So Lava Loon wouldn't be much of a deck people usually use in ladder. So it's not. So it's not usually too big of an issue.
Yeah, it's
sort of, again, the same
nerf after nerf, so it's struggles to get going.
Yeah, but it's the same as not giant golem. You know, with the archers and the musketeer, and this time the minions on it would completely it would just rip through the tanks.
Yeah, you're a lot like me. You've pummeled so much air defense in just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in building my own decks from scratch as well. And then the way I built my deck is I built it on countering both my previous decks and my friends' decks.
Right. Okay.
And I pummeled an awful lot of air defense in because Steaming Blood. Again, you know.
Oh right, yeah. He's in the clan.
He's actually, he's my friend. We go to school together.
Okay.
And he uses Lava Loon, so he does. So that's why I ended up putting so much air defense in.
just to snipe your friend.
Yep. Basically.
Okay.
And then I like the archers and the minions and the goblin game because I have them, and I don't necessarily need splash troops because they can deal with multiple troops at once.
Yeah.
As well. Which is why I know we swapped the giant out for Valkyries, but I don't see that as a necessary thing for me to do personally.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on sort of what you're seeing in your games and how you deal with that. So, are you familiar with the Barb Poison that Elijah's sort of on about, or I could try and get it on stream if needs be.
I've played it before. I have, yeah.
Okay, so if we sort of jump on that a little bit.
It was a bit of a test, so it was. to be fair. But I usually do come out on top of it because I will then I'll just start out cycling. Eventually, I'll put like to counter their bar pot spell. I can put down archers or I can put down the musketeer, and
Right.
then
Okay.
that'll basically it'll just eliminate any threat from that bar pot. And then in the opposite lane of where the barbarians come from, I will then push with the giant and minions usually
Okay.
behind the giant, and then they clear out most support troops. And as soon as I can bait out their poison spell, like if I can bait it out while they attack my musketeer or something,
Yeah.
then I will just instantly my next push. I know I want to put down graveyard because that will punish them.
No, nicely done. Right. Sweet. Okay. So with that all sort of said and done, are you okay to jump into some ladder and we can sort of spectate and if you want to talk through what you're doing, then we can talk through what you're doing. Or if that's sort of going to be a bit annoying for you, obviously we can just sort of spectate and we can talk about each match after the fact, whichever's easiest for you.
Yeah, I'll try to talk about it.
Sweet. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Hopefully go well because I haven't actually pushed yet this season.
Yeah, like me, you've left it to the last minute.
Well, some seasons I'm good at it. I'm in the game now. Just with Archer's at the back to see what he's doing.
To be fair, in my opinion, it's probably like one of the strongest starts anyway, because they just don't know like where you're going to be going.
Yeah. So I've put down a Musketeer just the back to help with support damage, and I put Goblin Gang in the middle to drag the skeleton over and then take it out. Just clear out a few skeletons in the end, and then I actually have arrows. Arrow. Oh dear. So it's a lumberjack, and I'll put archers on this lumberjack. And a balloon, and I've got minions for the balloon. This is not
I was
too
on the
fun.
right hand side, just didn't want anything to do with that. I mean, it's typical.
So
Like we've talked about like a select few decks, and then the first deck that you go against, it just has nothing to do with anything we've actually spoken about.
Yeah, I know. It's an interesting deck that this guy's going to be playing here. He's got
he's got like three separate wing cons that he can go for. So he's got the giant skeleton, the balloon, and the hog.
really going to test my ability to cycle. So he is. But I've got counter push, and I have a log for his skeleton army. Hit his witch as well. Witch is actually one of my favorite cards. If you can remember, I used to love it.
Yeah, I remember you used
actually
to,
first.
It was first epic for you maxed out, wasn't it? Because you used to request them all the time, and
I love the witch.
At the time, I don't think she'd been like she hadn't been buffed or
She
anything like
got
that.
buffed ever since.
But yeah, she's like they struggled with her for a little while, but she is fantastic now. I love her.
Yeah, no, off got a nice prediction log there.
Yeah, that was good.
And now, once I've taken that tower, maybe not actually counter. Just that. I was going to just switch up the lane,
Yeah,
but as soon as you put that lumberjack down, I knew what was coming. So now I think I'll commit with the graveyard. I'll log his witches away and their skeletons, and then that should be the game.
yeah, no, that was a nice easy one for you.
Yeah.
Well played and GG.
And then again, I haven't pushed as well.
So you're a bit lower than you would be. So I remember at the start of the season you were
Yeah.
you pushed really hard. You got really high in the leaderboard, didn't you?
I was like, I ended up getting like top 8,000 global at a point, and then I just stopped. I just thought,
Yeah, you get a bit
I
nervous, don't you, when you get that high? So
I didn't want to embarrass myself too much, just in case I went on a big drop.
well, no one can take that screenshot away from you.
No, nobody. Actually, I don't think I screenshot that one. I think I screenshot it when I got top 9,000,
Ah, okay.
which is a bit of a mistake. Should have screenshot after every game.
Yeah. So I'd hazard a guess that there's going to be a graveyard at some point here. Just
I
because of
don't
that
know.
bowler.
E-barbs.
As soon as you put the bowler down,
No.
I thought it was going to be a just a generic splash out deck, but the E-barbs are a bit of a
E-barbs
curveball there.
But yikes to be saying, especially with that firecracker. It's very hard. It's quite a hard card counter now.
You know, on the plus side, his is only level 12, so you can log it down if you need to.
That's true. So I'm just going to go for a giant minion push, and never mind, that's not going to happen.
You should get a fair bit of damage done with those minions at least, hopefully. I see it distracts him like that.
Yeah, didn't go as planned, but hey, what can
You can't have all of them, mate.
So he's got his golem in hand, and on his golem is bowler. I'll probably just start cycling cards through the back. Maybe just drag this. I'll log this over here. And that musketeer and archers will do an awful lot of damage to the bolt. Shouldn't need to do anything about that. And if a graveyard is higher, I should get a good amount of damage done. Nasty logs it.
Yes, you've got all those skeletons at the back there as well.
Not as much as I thought I got. Goblin gang and then log the hog away. And maybe get another graveyard on here. Because you can put a lot more barbarians down. Yep.
It's probably going to be a log or a zap here, but that should be the tower, hopefully.
Should be.
There you go.
Now, if I put a musketeer and archers to distract that, he's taking the tower too. So now I get my favorite graveyard push, is that where I just drop the graveyard down and then giant, and then lag, and I didn't place it down when I needed to. Bowler didn't target it.
That doesn't matter.
So
Still wreck the tower. So is that quite a common move that you do with that? Is just put the graveyard down and then the giant to tank?
As soon as I take one tower, and then that I also then, depending on what cards he's placed, like there he'd have a bowler. If he had placed maybe a single target trip, I might have, or a more expensive trip, I could have put the graveyard then on his king tower.
Yeah.
So it's versatile in the fact that I can go for both towers.
No, good. I mean, so this guy's level 12, which is a bit of a benefit. But
Yeah.
he does sort of like point out one of my
It scares me as well.
The ones that scare me is when they're like level 10 or 11 and they've got like 6,000 trophies. Like, yeah, this is gonna be a tough match because they know what they're doing.
I've never came across someone like any lower. Well, I haven't recently. I've never came across anyone lower than level 12.
It is quite rare, but it's scary when it does happen. Cause you know the game's going to be a tough one just because they clearly know what they're doing.
Balloon.
Hello. Oh.
Oh no.
Good old Siri.
Oh dear. Balloon freeze.
You know all about that.
Yeah. So he's got. What else has he got? He's got a bowler, electro wizard, an E-Wiz, and a mini P.E.K.K.A. And tornado. Okay, forgot about that one. So I'm just gonna log this and then Goblin Gang. I want to keep my minions. So I have minions in hand there. Put a musketeer on the inside of my tire. And that should stop bowler. He's still got a head off. He's a normal wizard as well. I think I'm just graveyard now.
That's all of his cards have been sort of revealed now.
Yeah, so if I log and arrow these, they should take it out, and then that should be the tire as well.
Nicely done. So it's just a case of 30 seconds of smart defense, and then
hopefully not get balloon freeze. So I'm actually just going to minion on the back of that balloon. Should hopefully get a good bit of damage on it. And he didn't freeze it. It's going to get 1 hit.
I'm not sure if the damage is going to be enough.
Don't know.
So, and he's got no direct damage.
I'll just keep pressure up by Graveyard and Goblin Guy. And then Musketeer in the middle.
Nice.
Last game.
Sweet. So that's that's 3 games in a row where they've all had decks that sort of weren't anything to do with what we talked about at the start, but it just sort of like proves the versatility both of yourself and of the deck itself as well. So thank you for sort of like doing this with us. Well done, and obviously your 3 wins in the tournaments. We'll see today if you can make it win number 4. And then it was really nice chatting, but mate. So hopefully we can make this sort of a more permanent, or sort of semi-regular feature where like we get people from the community on. So if there's sort of anything else you wanted to add before we take a look at sort of where the tournament is at the moment, feel free to say what you got to say.
I don't know. I'm just take a look at everybody else who's going to play. I'm still going to try win these. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, it's not as fun if you just throw every game. So,
or maybe not use balloon freeze today. If you don't.
Sweet.
I don't know. Last week everyone else seemed to be using balloon freeze.
Take a bit of inspiration
after they noticed. After they noticed how much I dominated it. Not quite funny.
Right,
but no, good luck.
Cool, thank you. Good luck to yourself.